Hey everybody, another Erev Shabbos is upon us. It is the Parsha of KiSeitzei, and we learned something very interesting in the first three paragraphs of the Parsha. It talks about when you go to war and you see a woman that you want to, take and marry. You can't just take her. You can't treat her like chattel. You can't treat her like property. You gotta treat her like a human being with dignity and respect. And there's a process in which you have to follow, in which in order to take her home and take her for a wife. If you go through that process and you want to take her home to be your wife and she becomes your wife, we come to the second paragraph where, you might have more than one wife now. And the Torah again tells us, remember, you can't, detract from your obligations towards one of your wives in favor of another, and you can't detract from the children of one of your wives in favor of that of the other. And you have to treat everybody, all your wives, however you may have, and your children with respect, and keep in mind their humanity at all times. Because what happens if you don't comes along the third paragraph that says you will have the case of the rebellious child and the problems that arise therein. This teaches us that in today's day and age we have laws. There are certain things that we know in society, that we cannot do because it's illegal and improper to do in a just and upright society. There are certain other things that people might say, well, it's not really illegal. It's not, nobody ever said don't do it. What we learn here is, even if they say you shouldn't do it, it's because people who wrote these laws, God especially in the Torah, but even the laws in today's society, those who wrote these laws know human nature. And human nature is to say, well, those advisories are for other people who are weaker than me. Those advisories are for people who don't have the strength of will that I have. I know myself, and I have the strength of will, a strength of character to refrain from stepping over the line. And it's not always the case. Everybody has their Achilles' heels. Everybody has their things that tempt them. And it's human nature, and we're all human. And if the Torah says, you shouldn't do it, even though it's permissible, you shouldn't do it, take that to heart. Good Shabbos. See you on the flip side.